Installing the front door was the next step. As most DIYer would do, I watched a few popular videos on the subject on YouTube and felt like I got a good hang on it. I was kind of rushing it as it was already 3:30 in the afternoon and the sun was going to set around 5:30 p.m. so I had pretty much 2 hours to get this done, which seemed like plenty of time. The other reason was that a major snowstorm was to pretty much sweep through all of the US and I really wanted to have a door on my cabin to prevent a lot of snow from getting in there. Unfortunately, I realized too late that something was off with installation and I was left with only two options: do a lousy job or start over.
I think from all the water that I got in this cabin, this subfloor here definitely kind of like expanded. Yeah, I think this was definitely worth it. Oh wow, yeah, that made a big difference. So I was quite confused because we're gonna use a Jamsill Guard, and on the installation procedure they're telling you that you can put it directly on top of the subfloor, but I've seen videos where they still go back and put some of that flashing tape. So because I have it, I'm gonna go ahead and put it. I don't know that it's necessary, but it won't hurt. So the next thing we're installing is this Jamsill Guard. You have 3 pieces, it's fairly simple. They don't ask for that, but I'm still gonna put some sealant below it. I don't know, just because. Got 2 corner pieces, and then you have one center one that you need to glue with whatever they're giving you. They're giving you some cement, so you're supposed to use that. You kind of need to hold it so that it kind of solidify itself. Okay, I think we're good. So another thing we can do for extra protection, we can put a little tape like just here, like a few inches.
As you can see, I went a little crazy with the flashing tape. Definitely something I will regret later on.
Let's try and do a dry fit. I hope it works. Yeah, no, I'm worried that this thing back here is gonna be in the way. I hope it works. Well, let's measure it. Because this is 6.5. How much is that? See, well, I guess it will stick out. But see, that's not good. That is not good.
See this? I mean, that was definitely the first hint that something was gonna go wrong, and I just brushed it off.
I don't know, we'll have to see. Oh man, this is heavy. Oh, this is tight. See, that's not good. I have this gap here.
And here was the second hint.
Why? Yeah, it should be flush like it is here. I think it's touching something, or I don't know, man. Something is not right. I don't know if we're good or not. So now I have to take it back out so I can, put sealant, but this thing is so wedged in. Okay.
What's crazy to me is that even after those 2 hints, I just kept going, and here I am putting sealant all over the place. I think at this point it was just getting late, and I was just thinking that it was just gonna magically work itself out.
What I don't like is that there's a gap here. It's not really, I can't flush it. Look at this, there's a massive gap here, and I don't like that at all. Oh man, this is not good. I mean, I don't know if it matters that much, but...
Oh yeah, it definitely matters. I mean, think about all the rain that could come through that gap.
Either I just let it be, or I have to pull this off, and I have to fix the kind of mess with, I don't even know what to do. Well, I think I'm gonna pull the door off because that's not acceptable. I mean, that's ridiculous. So here's what I'm talking about here. I mean, look, you have a gap. I can put a finger in there. I should be flush here. I thought it was going so well. All right, let's pull it off. Oh, it's stuck good at the bottom now. There's all that sealant. Oh, goodness. So here's my problem. This thing here, you see this? It's sticking out almost 1/4 of an inch past the framing. And I mean, it's in place now. So if I beat on it, I'm probably gonna break it. And everything is taped over it. So this should have been way back in, completely flush with the framing. And I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm just gonna break it. Okay, well, let's redo it. Can't believe I'm doing this. Alrighty, I'm gonna make a big mess here. All right, here's the Jamsill coming right out. Just trying to create some sort of depression. Some of the problem is that the plywood here also got thicker because they got a bunch of water in. So I'm trying to, you know, smoosh it a little bit. Be nice to remove this tape as well. I don't want it to be in the way of anything.
At this time, I was really starting to just butcher everything.
Never gonna be able to wash my hands. Oh goodness. Come on, this is drying. I need to go faster.
At this point, I was still hoping that I could salvage this thing without having to pull completely the black tape out from the sill, but I wasn't sure if it could be possible.
Also, it's gonna be nighttime in 30 minutes, so that's all great.
Just the thought of having to start over and pulling all of that sill in that was drying by the minute felt so demoralizing, and I was willing to try anything to fix this now.
I feel this is looking a little bit better, but not everywhere. Kind of tempted, I might put like a nail something here. You know, keep it as flush as possible. See that? That's gonna be much better now because it's almost flush with the wall, really. Let's just dry fit it, see if it can be better that way. Oh man, I hate rushing like this. Okay. What is the problem now? This used to fit. For whatever reason, it's touching up here now. I'm losing it. Seriously, what is the problem?
It was late, I was definitely tired, and things were still not working out, so I was really starting to lose the hope that this door was getting installed today.
Why is it not fitting? Okay, stick it out. There's something under the door. It's crazy. How is that possible? The door won't go in. I mean, maybe if I push, but...
Eventually, I did manage to get that door back in.
This is nuts. Okay, the gap is better. Well, not so much. Not so much.
So sure enough, even after banging all over on that wood, it wasn't good enough. The gap was still there.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Might have to revisit, but I don't want all this stuff to dry. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to stop. I need to take it out and maybe, I don't know, scrape. I'll just have to let it dry and scrape it or something, I don't know. Well, now let's see if I can even take this out. I mean, it was so difficult to even get it in. Okay, this side is good. Come on, no. I give up for the day. I'm tapping out. I should have never started this late.
And I'm so stubborn that I just wouldn't give up.
Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time. I put the Jamsill back on and I put a bunch of flat nails to really push it in as much as possible. Allez, come on. Okay, this is the last chance. And this side definitely looks better. Okay, so at least we have one side that's good. This one is still not great. I don't know why this side is so terrible because everything is flush here. Like, what's in the way?
I was starting to just look like a crazy person in the night, just mumbling to myself and banging my hammer left and right. Yeah, that's what cabin building will do to you.
Maybe I can live with that gap and it's not the end of the world.
So it was about to be pitch dark and I finally came back to reason and decided to just let this go for the day, sleep on it and figure it out in the morning.
So we're back to the beginning. I went back and you know what? I wanted to do this right, so I just removed everything, all the silicone, everything. So we're back to where we were and hopefully this time I can do it properly. So I think I finally found one of the reasons why this isn't working. Look at this. This thing has been completely drenched in water for months. And so what's happening is that this half-inch OSB is completely swollen. Yeah, see, that's more like it. Look at this. You can tell. That's the normal width, and then it gets fatter and fatter. And look at this. I mean, this is so much deeper. So I think that's part of our problem.
Now that I was satisfied with the amount of OSB I had removed, I placed the Jamsill Guard seal back on but did not seal anything. Well, you know, I kind of learned my lesson by now, so I went ahead and checked the door for a dry fit, and thankfully it finally looked great, no more gap on the edges. So I went ahead, removed that door, and I still had a last piece of flexible tape left, which allowed me to protect the seal again. I also added some more flashing tape on each side. I did a last dry fit after putting all that tape to make sure that it still looked good, and it did. So I was finally ready to put the silicone on the seal pan as well as on the door on both sides and at the top.
Okay, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Well, especially me. Haha! We don't have a gap anywhere. Woo! Ah, that is a good feeling. Woo! I did it.
So the door was in, but the installation was not quite finished yet. I still needed to fasten that door in place.
The level, this is good. This is good. This is good. Now it's plumb, which is what I wanted. It needs to move a little more this way potentially. There's a big gap here and no gap here. So let's see if we can. Okay, that looks more even. The question is, it's still plumb. It's pretty good. I think we're still good. Something like that. Let's see if it closes. Closes good to me.
Using 2-inch long finish nails and my finish nailer, I was able to just properly attach the edges of the door in place where I wanted it to be before coming back inside and installing all the shims.
I think a good thing to do is to kind of add a lot more shims, especially here at the strike plate.
So you just want your shims to be snug, but you don't want to push too hard because otherwise they could bend the jam out of square.
So I'm gonna start by pre-drilling.
So just using a Phillips head, I will be able to countersink the screw a little bit. And then I'm using 3-inch long screws here. To be honest with you, I wasn't sure really how many screws to use, so I used some here and there. I was locating them exactly where I put my shim, you know, right on the other side of that door jam that you can see.
I mean, once this is painted, you won't see this. No big deal.
And on most YouTube videos I've watched, most people would be putting one right there. So I figured I would just do it as well.
Oh yeah, that's good.
One last thing that seemed like a good idea would be to put a finish nail through the shims so that they would hold in place when I cut them off. And I know some people just like to snap those shims one-handed, sort of like a boss move at the end of door installation. You know what I'm talking about if you've seen other videos on the subject, but I could already think about a few ways that this would not go well, so I opted for the less exciting but cleaner option to just cut them off with my oscillating tool. Now was the time to properly seal the edges of that door and start installing the flashing tape all around the edges and making sure to roll it properly, one on each side and one on the top.
So now I have to put this on. But see, like I kind of did a better job than I did on the windows is you can actually bend over a lip on the edges and then you end up with something like this, which is I think what the pros do. So again, not calling myself a pro, but trying to get better, okay? Okay. Okay.
And sure enough, the storm did arrive and we had several days with a lot of winds and temperature as low as -5 Fahrenheit. I mean, installing this door was definitely challenging and I am glad I didn't give up and did it right. I mean, what a great feeling it was to finally get it done without cutting corners.
The winds definitely pushed that door in, but still kind of held up.
Next time I will be tackling something scary, dangerous, something I have no knowledge of. Yes, the electrical system. So make sure to click that link and check out that next episode.